Well, hello, sports fans. This is Larry Eater here for RunBlogRun. This is our day-by-day review of the 2022 World Athletics Outdoor Championships being held at the University of Oregon in Eugene, Oregon, for the first time in the United States ever, yay! The crowds in the evening session are rocking. The crowds in the morning will get better each day. And we will do reviews of each session for your viewing pleasure. We have a sponsor, Coros. They're a performance sports technology company that do killer sports timing and training products, and they have a brand new training site, Coros.com. Check it out. My buddies who have tried the sports timing devices, which I call watches, love them, covet them. They think they're right. Emma Coburn is using it. Emma Bates is using it. Jeffrey Kemwarer is using it. Elliot Kipchoge is using it. Why don't you? So thanks again to Coros for coming on board as a sponsor of our World Championships coverage. And I hope you enjoy our reviews. Well, good morning, sports fans. Larry Eater here. This is the review of day 6, July 20th, 2022. We're going to start with the 5,000 meter heats. Gadaf Sagay, silver medalist in the 1500, won heat 1 in 14:52.64. Following her was Doit Sayam, Beatrice Chebet, Margaret Kipkembwa, Carissa Schweitzer from the U.S., and Emily Infield. Not moving on, Constant Klosterhoffen, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But I think Constance is going to run the European Champs, which is August 15th through 20th, and we wish her well there. In the second semi, which was really interesting too, so Eilish McColgan, who's run 30:19 this season and led early on in the 10,000 meters. So heat 2 was won by Lieutenant Gidey. Carolyn Kipkuri was right behind her. Safan Hassan, Caroline Grovedal, Alice Crani, and Gloria Kite. In 7th place was Eilish McColgan. Eilish had led for up till the bell app, and then that party was over. Jessica Judd also moved on, and Jessica had met Jeff Benjamin, our senior rider from the East Coast, at a Starbucks the other day. And so when Jeff interviewed her in the mix zone, she goes, "Jeff from Starbucks," you know? So it was kind of fun. Nozomi Tanaka, who led early on in that race with Eilish McColgan, also moved on. So the 5,000 final is going to be pretty tough. It's going to be really interesting to see who can do what there. Can Safan Hassan medal? This is the big one for her. Can Gidey get another medal? Who's going to be the surprises? I think Caroline Grovedal could be really, really tough. And I think Elise Cranny and Carissa Schweitzer will be in the thick of things. I'd like to see them medal as well. You know, the men's 800 meters just frustrated the living hell out of me, I got to tell you. So heat 1, Emmanuel Career won. Max Bergen, one of the fastest guys of the year, had a hamstring injury. He's a pretty delicate runner, and he's been getting injury. So we'll see if he can run the Commonwealth or if he can run the Europeans. He was followed by Moushadid from Morocco and Ariba. In 1:49, it was a pretty pedestrian pace, but, they got through. In Heat 2, it was won by Peter Boll, followed by Kyle Langford. Back in 6th was Donovan Brazier, who told Jeff Benjamin that he needs surgery, and he's going to get it, and then he's going to take some rest and then come back stronger. We wish the defending champion speedy recovery. Heat 3, Muad Zahafi, Gabriel Toole, but in 5th place was Bryce Hoppel, who thought he was moving on in 1:46.98. I thought he was moving on too. He didn't move on. Heat 4, Jamel Zajati, Brandon Miller in 5th place. Brandon does not move on. Tony Van Diepen and Ayuni also moved on. In Heat 5, this was an interesting one. Marco Rupp from Canada won 1:44.56. It was the fastest one of the day. Jesus Lopez 1:44.67. Mark English from Ireland 1:44.76. Catalin Tesasnu from Italy 1:44.83. Noah Kibet 1:45.41. Andreas Kramer 1:45.77. And Jonah Coet should have moved on, but he got DQ'd. And then in Heat 6, it was Saman Mullah from Algeria, 1:44.90. Wycliffe Kasasi, 1:45.08. Abdelhadi El Guess, 1:45.25. Daniel Roden, 1:45.53. And Daniel Talesa Bodena, 145.81. So everybody moved on except the Americans. Total bullshit. I just don't get it. And I put a little tweet up that I was feeling a little vomit coming up in my throat because this is reminding me of a time when Americans didn't give a flying at a rolling about moving on. They just cared about their financial situation. And American running was mediocre at the very, very best. So that was annoying. The women's 400-meter hurdles. That race continues to be interesting. In the first semi, Delilah Muhammad, 53.28, the defending champion, shows that she's back. Anna Ryzhkova, 54.51. She moves on too. Geneve Russell did not move on. In the second semi, Femke Bol, 52.84, Shamira Little, 53.61, Rochelle Clayton, 53.63, Britton Wilson, 53.72. And in the third semi, Sydney McLaughlin, 52.17. I mean, the woman virtually jogged at 52.17. Gianna Woodruff, 53.69. 4 American women in the final. I think that we will have 2 American medals. I think Femke Bol and Delilah Muhammad will fight for second, and I think Sydney McLaughlin will go 51.2 in the final, new world record. Sydney McLaughlin is one of the most talented athletes I've ever seen, but more importantly, she's a very hard worker. And with Bobby Kersey, she is doing, if there was any rough points in any of her competition, she's overcoming them. I think she can run 50.5 for the 400-meter hurdles over the next several years. She's that talented. Femke Bol, I think Femke Bol can run both 51s. Femke is extremely talented. She's physically not as mature, but she's getting there. She's a tough 400-meter hurdler. If Sydney McLaughlin makes any mistakes, Femke Bol will be there. This woman is fearless. That women's 400-meter hurdles will be one of the top events of the entire championships. Discus throw, big surprises in the women's discus throw. Bin Fang, a 64-meter discus thrower, improved by 3 meters. Her PB went 69.12, took the lead on her first throw. Sandra Perkovic, European champion, Olympic champion, world champion, 68.45 in the silver. And Valerie Allman, 68.30, the Olympic champion, the American record holder. She was just a little off, and I think she was trying way too hard. But, it's a medal, and that's a big part of the game. And hopefully her and Coach Zion will learn from that experience. Well, the women's 400 semifinals was very interesting. First heat, Shawnee Miller-Weibo, Bahamas won 49.55. She is the bomb. She looks totally hot. Candice McLeod, Jamaica, 50.05. In heat 2, that was a very interesting one. In heat 2, Fiordaliza Cofield from the Dominican Republic, 50.14, a PB. Leaky Claver from the Netherlands, national record, 50.18. Stephanie Ann McPherson, Jamaica, 50.56. Cofield, it was the anchor for the Dominican Republic's mixed relay team. She is on fire. In the third heat, I think the real challenge for Shawnee Weibo will be Marlady Paulino from Dominican Republic in 49.98. Seda Williams, Barbados, 50.12. Talitha Diggs did not move on, the NCAA and U.S. champion. That surprised the hell out of me. So no American women in the 400 final. Yes, it irritates me. We have a great relay team, but we need to get into the final in the individual events. Okay, so we're now in the men's 400-meter semifinals. Michael Norman, 44.30, looked great. Him and Matthew Hudson-Smith, 44.38. Christopher Taylor, 44.97. They all move on. In heat 2 of the men's semifinals, it was Karani James, the man who's won gold in London, silver in Rio, and bronze in Tokyo, 44.74. He looked totally solid. Bayapo Ndori from Botswana, 44.94, moved on as well. Uzala Samunkonga from Zambia set a PB of 45.02. He does not move on, and neither did Michael Cherry in fourth place, 45.28. In the third and final heat of the semifinals, champion Allison, 44.71. Wayne Vanderkerk, world record holder at 43.03. Two-time world champion in 15 and 17, and also the gold medalist in Rio in 2016. He was second in 44.75, and third was Jonathan Jones from Barbados, 44.78. The 400-meter final is going to be really tough. I think it's Michael Norman's race to win or lose. I think Van Vanderkerk and Karani James will be in there for the medals, champion Allison to spoil. So it could be really, really interesting. The only final on day 6, which was the women's steeplechase, and it went out. Actually, they were faster than the men's steeple final, the first 1K. They went out in 2:57. The men went out in 2:58. Yes, that's why I called it a snorer for the men's. But the pack was Nora Gerudo, Workuna Getachaw, Mercedes Abibi, Winifred Yavi, and Emma Coburn. And there was a second pack. And Emma, who is the 2017 gold medalist and 2019 silver medalist, were followed by Courtney Frerichs, the Olympic silver medalist from Tokyo, Amy Pratt, and Louisa Gega. And about 2K, Emma Coburn was starting to come off the back. She had fought hard, and she stayed with it. But Courtney Frerichs, Louisa Gega, and Amy Pratt went by her. Louisa Gega went on to finish in 5th with a 9:10 national record. The Albanian should be a big thing at the European Champs, August 15th to 20th. Courtney Frerichs was 6th in 9:10.59, a seasonal best, and Amy Pratt from Great Britain, 9:15.64 and a national record. Emma Coburn finished 8th in 9:16.49. The medals went to Nora Gerudo, 8:53.02, championship record from Kazakhstan. Orkua Getachew, Ethiopia, 8:54.61, national record. Makiti Zabebe, Ethiopia, 8:56.08 PB. And Winifred Yavi from Bahrain, 9:01.31. Again, a very fine women's steeple. They really brought the pace down. The crowd got into it. Alice Finot from France was 10th. Courtney Wayman from the U.S., the NCAA champion in her first global championship, 9:22.37 in 12th. Cellophane Chesspool, Kenya, 9:27.34 and 13th. And in 15th, Gesa Kraus from Germany, 9:52.66. I hope Gesa can put it together for the European champs. But that was day 6. We will have a preview of day 7, obviously, up. And thank you again for supporting RunBlogRun. Thanks to Mike Deering, our production manager, who manages the previews and the reviews. Stay safe, run, jump, and throw, and talk to you soon.